Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are back at the track again for Sunday. Today we're actually running Branson's car finally. I know what you're thinking, why are you not running your car? You already know the answer, I don't have tires. So, we are running Branson's 2018 LPF twin turbo car. Little baby turbos down there. It's actually got really good sized turbos, but we pulled the back seat out, save a little bit of weight, and we've got the 710 speed locks on obviously, so they're about to do one more qualifying class and then they're going to open up the testing soon, so we'll get Branson's car out there. Alright guys, so this is Kennedy's grandpa's car. If you're a long-time subscriber, you probably have seen this car before, but it was red last year. He actually painted it over the off-season, so that blue is looking really nice. So they're doing some bracket racing today. Really?
East Challenger.
Street cars, return of the state.
Yeah.
Two chassis car.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Runs on E85.
That's awesome. So you want to give us a quick rundown of it?
505 stroker, took it off pump gas, went over to E85.
Yeah.
Picked up 2/10 by that.
Hell yeah.
These springs are narrowed in 4 inches each side. Has a strange 9-inch with a 9.5-inch gear set.
Nice.
So I maybe won't break the rear end anymore. It's treated me really well. So
was it run down at sea level? Because you're from
at
California.
sea level, it'll run an easy 10-15
Okay.
at 130.
Nice. That's a good car for all motor.
Oh, the altitude here, it's
This
not
will
going
eat you
so
up.
fast. I'm the slow
Everyone
show.
thinks Texas, and I'm like, yeah, we're in Amarillo though. It's 3,500 here.
Yeah, like, yeah. So
This
it
ain't
said
Dallas or
it said like 6,800 DA on my machine there. So
Yeah, yesterday during the day it was 8,200 DA.
yeah,
So it's like 95
yeah,
degrees.
it was the slow show yesterday.
That's awesome, man. It looks
All right,
good.
well, thank you very much.
Absolutely,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Okay, first pass. What are you doing?
Hopefully like a 11.0.
I guess you gotta set it.
If it hooks an 8.5.
Yeah, it's low. It's on low boost, so we're going for 8 psi. If it doesn't hook up, we'll drop some tire pressure. We're just out here testing, so it's all for fun. All for
He said I
fun.
can fill in whenever.
Huh?
He said I can fill in whenever, go over there whenever, and they'll fill me in.
We'll start draining it, fool. Oh, pack it up. So Branson's got the nice. Look at that ice tank, boy. That's what I need. Branson's got the rich people stuff.
Yeah. Bought, not built.
So we're gonna go test this car. Like I said, it's just gonna be on low boost for the first pass. He's never brought the car out to the track. It's brand new. So we're not sure if it's gonna hook or what it's gonna do. So we're gonna start at low boost. Start at like 20 pounds in the tires, and we'll take some out if it's not hooking, and then hopefully turn up the boost later. All right guys, so Branson is setting up his PIDs, performance indicators, so we can start logging this. Some unfortunate news, the ice tank is not working, but we're just gonna fucking send it. So we're gonna log it, check the IATs after, and then we're gonna see if we can just run a cord straight to the battery to see if we can get the ice tank pump working. If not, we are effed. What are we gonna do if it doesn't work? Spray nitrous on it? Yeah. We're have to spray some NOS on it. So he's gonna get the logging files set up, and then we'll get some test passes in. All right, and the DA for today is 6,200. Woo, yeah. Gotta love that DA right. You're gonna break it.
All right, I'm ready for takeoff.
Should we mess with Branson? Should I tell him he ran a 9? What? Dude, it ran a 9! Nah, just kidding. Alright, so the first pass we didn't have traction control off. Well, we turned it off, but it wasn't all the way. The plug came flying off, the one we unplugged. So second pass, he actually got a burnout. We got to work on the 60 foot, but the trap is there. The trap is there for 8 pounds of boost. It's not bad.
Yeah.
We need.
I let out too.
Did you log it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna check some stuff. So Branson has taken over tuning of his own car. Sorry guys who were tuning it before, but Master Tuner Branson is in the building.
I don't know if this one's it or not.
So we're checking the logs, see what the IATs were at, because the ice tank is not working at the moment. So we're trying to make sure they're not getting crazy hot. Alright guys, so we are just trying to figure things out. This is part of racing, obviously. This is why you come to the track and do test and tune before you actually go to an event. So we are having IAT problems because his ice tank pump has shit the bed. So we tested the power, the pump's getting power. We sucked air through the lines, trying to see if there's air in the lines, and we got all the air out. Pump's still not working. So the pump is dead in the ice tank, so he's just gonna work on some 60 foot and maybe some 8th mile stuff and then shut it off. Probably trying to do like 2 or 3 runs because the car's gonna get super hot after that and won't be able to run it because it cuts timing at 150-degree IATs. So trying to just figure out the 60 foot, see if we can get it to hook, and because we know this car can make some power once we turn it up, so we just got to figure out the 60 foot, and you know, the first half of the track and the back half of the track will come just by turning up the boost. So we're gonna run it a few more times and see what happens. Okay, try that. Well, just make sure you shift, it gets too high. Okay, hold on just a second.
They changed, number one, they were the fuck out. They lost the first 2 rounds.
Alright guys, so I just wanted to close that video out. Unfortunately, Branson did end up blowing his motor. We ended up pushing his car off. We checked a bunch of things. We were hoping it was something simple, like a cable or something had came loose and the car lost power. But the car did lose power right after the burnout. It just died. So we pushed it off to the side. Luckily, super nice people at the track. Everyone is super, you know, they're just super nice people, always willing to help. And it was just a shitty situation, honestly. So we waited there. His brother brought a trailer. We loaded his car up on the trailer and got it to his house, pulled the valve cover, pulled the spark plug, and I'll drop a picture here. but the piston did end up leaving the rod and smacking the spark plug, and it's a shitty situation all the way around. Branson just got the car. He's only had it 2 weeks. You know, it already had an LPF twin turbo kit on it, full fuel system, and he was working with the tuner to get some final tunes in it, I believe, but it was adjusted for the elevation. I think they were going to get some final logs going back and forth. So there's really, I don't think there's anyone to blame here. You know, these cars, here's my point on the 2018-2019 Mustang. A lot of people giving somewhat of false hope. And I don't mean to call anybody out because they're obviously doing it, but they kind of give some of the people false hope. And I'll talk about my point of view on it and how my car is going to be affected. But for people like Branson or other people, they're buying these newer Mustangs and then turboing them, thinking they're going to be really fast out there and really reliable, and because all these people are running 8s on stock motor, stock trans. But you got to remember, and nothing against anyone, but you do have to remember that just because someone's doing it doesn't mean that your car is going to do it. So that's one thing. Another thing is, just because you see these cars running 8s on stock motor, stock trans, doesn't mean they're not blowing stuff up in, you know, or behind the scenes. So just because they claim the stock motor record doesn't mean that that's not the third stock motor in the car. I get it, that's the stock motor, but it doesn't mean they haven't broken something in that motor or switched the heads, or the trans hasn't gone out before and they switched the trans, but they're still going to claim the stock trans record. Or the rear diff went out and they replaced the diff, but it's still an OEM diff, so they claim the OEM diff record, you know. And these cars are very impressive. I will still say that to this day. It's a stock motor, stock trans car that comes with like 460, 480 horsepower from the factory. You do bolt-ons and a tune and you can run 10s in good air. You throw boost at these things and you can run 9s, some people even running 8s. And you can do it on a stock motor, stock trans. The gas tank just popped off at me. You can do it on a stock motor, stock trans, which is so impressive. But to think that you could have a stock motor, stock trans, newer Mustang going and running 8s or even low 9s at 900 to 1,000 horsepower and just drive it around all the time like nothing's ever going to happen, you're definitely being naive there. So it's a lesson for everyone. There's something to take away from it. There's always something you learn, and that's part of racing and part of test and tuning. And that's why we took Branson's car out, was to test and tune it and to kind of see what it can do and work out the kinks. So you know, Branson's got a few options. We're not sure exactly what he's going to do yet, but he is going to be building the motor, just not sure who he's going to use. There's no one to blame here though. You don't need to blame the tuner, don't have to blame the turbo kit builder, don't have to blame Branson. Like, it is what it is. You're running a stock motor, stock trans car. And then for the people who are so against the 18 and 19 Mustang because they returned theirs or they traded theirs in because of the tick, that wasn't really a factor because there's plenty of cars making power out there. I get the tick or the piston slap, whatever, is a problem, but I don't think that was the problem. I think when you're pushing this much power through these cars, that's the problem, when you think that they're going to be reliable with that much power. So, and they can be, it's just a matter of time before it goes out. It's the same thing with a Hellcat. Like, those motors come forged from the factory, able to handle 707 crank horsepower. So when you turn those up to like 900 to 1,000, of course they're reliable because you're only adding 300 or 400 wheel horsepower. On a Mustang, these people are doubling the wheel horsepower, if not more. So you just got to be careful. And so here's the thing. On my point of view with my car, I bought my car knowing that the motor and trans are going to go out eventually and the rear diff. But that's why I bought this car, was because it is my side project street car that I want to take to the track all the time. And so I'm okay knowing that it's going to blow the motor, it's going to blow the trans, it's going to blow both at the same time, or the rear diff's going to go out, the shafts are going to go out. I took that risk, but that's because this is the car I want to build into a built car that goes to the track all the time. I didn't want to take my Hellcat there. That's not what I wanted to do with that car. So that's why I bought this car. And I bought this car knowing the motor and trans are going to let go eventually. Now, do I hope it doesn't go out sooner rather than later? Of course not, because I want to enjoy it. But the reality of it is, when you're pushing this much horsepower, they're going to go out. It's just a matter of time. So I'm totally okay with it. I think Branson was hoping his was going to obviously last a lot longer. but that's just part of it. That's what happens when you boost these cars and you got a stock motor, stock trans. So that's today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I do feel really bad for Branson. It is a shitty situation. I haven't even taken my car out to the track, but the same thing could happen to me. So that just is what it is when you're playing with a stock motor, stock trans car. You're just playing with fire. And once again, I get it. There's people making 1,100, 1,000 horsepower all day, running 8s, 9s. They're the fastest thing. I get it. But don't think that every Mustang can do that, because they can't. It's still a stock car at the end of the day with a big ass turbo kit on it. So that's just my thoughts on it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Comment down below to bring some positivity in Branson's life, because I'm sure he's down. It's never fun to break your car, whether you can afford it or not afford it, or whether you're okay with the car being down for 6 months or 3 months. Like, I'm too impatient to be blowing shit right now. So but yeah, Branson's gonna figure out a plan. He's gonna get that car going. The good thing is he's already got the expensive turbo kit. He's got the expensive fuel system. He just needs to build the motor, and then after that he can turn it up, and he'll know that the motor will be strong for 11, 1,200 horsepower, and then he'll just have to do something about the trans. And probably by the time that he gets the motor done, there will be a few more companies out building these transmissions, because there is clutch kits out for them, and they're kind of hit or miss right now. Some people have made 1,000 with them. Some people have blown them up at 1,000. So it's kind of not blown them up, but slipped the new clutches. So it's kind of hit or miss at this point. But maybe when his car's done, there'll be a little bit more research done on the 10-speed transmission. There'll be more people out testing and figuring out what's good for these cars. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. As always, make sure you comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Snapchat at VanV39, and I will see you guys on the next one.